The crowd murmured with disgusted curiosity as the auctioneer snapped his fingers, and the next lot was brought forward. Chains rattled, not because she needed them, but because appearances mattered on auction days. Slaves were supposed to be restrained, subdued, owned. She wasn't like the others. Her footsteps clanked and echoed off the stone floors as she stepped into the glaring white light. Her metallic leg clicked with precision, each step smoother than the last. From her right shoulder down, she was silver and steel, gleaming, inlaid with circuits and blue veins of pulsing power. Her left eye glowed faintly beneath a black metal plate grafted to her temple. But her face was too human to ignore. Smooth tan skin, piercing emerald eye, lips too soft for the life she'd endured. Lot 49, the auctioneer bellowed, thumbing through a holographic datapad. Designation: Mira 9. Combat hybrid. Cybernetic limb replacements, Class B neural core, partially organic brain tissue. Fully functional. Previous ownership: the Zenith Syndicate. The crowd shifted. Whispers rose. "She's a reject," someone hissed. "Half robot. Can't breed. No soul, those kinds." The auctioneer tried to inject excitement. Perfect for off-world labor. Mining. Security. Disposal jobs. Mira said nothing. She stood tall, even as her chains clinked softly. Even as her human heart thudded inside a chest half-covered in polymer armor. She had been sold 4 times before. Each time returned. Too efficient. Too cold. Too hard to control. Her mind was half machine, yes, but it still remembered. The pain. The betrayals. The longing. This time, she had accepted she would be bought again. But not wanted. "Let's start the bidding at 500 credits, the auctioneer chirped. Silence. 400. 3. No hands rose. "She's unclaimed merchandise," someone jeered. "No one wants junk tech." Mira kept her gaze fixed forward, not daring to look at the faces in the crowd. They were always the same. Predators searching for flaws, imperfections, something to dominate. Just as the auctioneer sighed and started to wave her away, a voice rang out. "I'll take her." Everyone turned. A single hand was raised. Row 3, I'll seat. A human male, mid-30s, unarmed, dressed plainly in a dark jacket and travel boots. He looked out of place among the merchants and mercs. But his voice was firm. His eyes were calm. The auctioneer blinked. 100 credits, then? Final bid. No one challenged. Sold. To the human. Mira's chains were removed. She didn't flinch as they snapped off her wrists. She walked down the stage steps, metal and flesh in sync, until she stood before the man who had bought her. He didn't leer. Didn't touch her. Didn't even smile. "I'm Kaelin," he said. "Let's get out of here." The desert wind blasted around them as they left the auction yard. Kaelin's speeder was old but fast, the engine purring as it shot across the dusty plains of Vorga 5. "You don't have to talk," he said after a while, keeping his eyes on the horizon. "But I won't chain you. I didn't buy you for that." Mira glanced at him, unsure if it was another trick. "Then why?" she asked, her voice rough from disuse. He glanced over. "Because I saw you. Not the metal. Not the file. You." Her fingers twitched on her lap. No one had ever said that. She had been asset, property, thing, never you. "You're human," she said, almost accusingly. "Your kind fears machines." "I'm an engineer," he replied. "I build what others throw away. You're not broken. Just misread." They drove in silence after that. Kaelin's home was a small outpost nestled into the rocks. Solar panels gleamed on the roof, and the scent of clean oil and flowers mingled in the air. Inside, there were tools, wires, holograms, but also books, food, and music. He showed her a room, hers, he insisted, and left her alone. That night, Mira didn't sleep. She sat on the edge of the bed, hand over the faint pulse in her chest. No pain. No commands. No watchers. Just quiet. Days passed. Kalin didn't treat her like property. He showed her his work, repairing old bots, reviving starship cores, even coding neural patches. He invited her to help. At first, she observed. Then she began adjusting calibrations, reprogramming with her own logic. Her machine side thrived. But the human part? That took longer. One evening, while adjusting the servo motors on a crawler drone, she asked, "What are you really doing out here?" Kalin looked up. "Hiding." "From what?" "People who see my worth only in what I can make. Not who I am." The words settled between them like a mirror. Later that night, she stood by the window, staring at the moons above. Maybe they weren't so different. Weeks passed. They built things together. Talked. Laughed, awkwardly at first, then more freely. Mira discovered she liked the smell of coffee, the feel of sand under her bare foot, the strange flutter when Kalin brushed her arm by accident. Her metal eye recorded everything, but it was her human heart that stored the meaning. Then, one night, a transmission arrived. Zenith Syndicate. Her former owners. Asset Mira 9 has been located. Retrieval unit inbound. Kalin's face went pale as the screen blinked out. "You're not property anymore," he said. "They don't get to take you." "I'm marked," she replied. "I can't outrun them." "We don't run," he said quietly. "We fight." The attack came at dawn. 3 black ships descended like vultures. Armed guards in exosuits fanned out. Mira stood at the edge of the landing pad, Kalin beside her, a pulse rifle in hand. "Give us the unit," the squad leader barked. "I'm not a unit," Mira said, stepping forward. They opened fire. Mira moved like lightning, dodging, shielding Kalin, firing back with brutal precision. Her mechanical limbs absorbed the damage. Her organic side fueled the fury. One by one, they fell. But not without cost. A blast hit her square in the chest, shorting circuits, tearing into skin. She collapsed. Kalin rushed to her side, hands trembling as he tried to stop the bleeding, metal and red. "Don't you dare shut down," he whispered. Her eye flickered. "I'm not done yet." She awoke hours later, patched and aching, but alive. Kalin sat beside her, hands stained with oil and blood. "You stayed," she murmured. "I always will." Months later, the auction yard on Vorga 5 was empty. The whispers had faded. No one remembered the half-metal girl. But on a distant world, in a home filled with stars and sound, Mira was alive, whole, loved, and free. She wasn't half machine. She was more. And someone had finally seen it.